Hello, hello, hello. How are you? How's everyone doing? Interesting weather today here in the Toronto area. It was beautiful, it was hot, it was humid, and then it was tons and tons of rain. Giving a weather report here. But wanted to say hello, and today I have, let me rewind a little bit. My name is Trevor Gordon. I'm a community engagement and a media relations specialist. I'm really passionate about fostering connections and amplifying voices. The past few days, I've had the opportunity of interviewing the quarter-finalists that are a part of something that is called Verse to Voice. It's a brand new event that's coming to the Port Credit area, which is Port Credit, Ontario, is a part of Mississauga in the Toronto area of Canada. You can learn all about Verse to Voice by going to versetovoice.com. It's Canada's premier singing-songwriting competition. The goal is to find amateur, talented singer-songwriters, showcase them, and give them the opportunity to network, perform, and compete for great prizes. So the past few days, I've had the opportunity of interviewing the quarter-finalists that's going to be a part of it. So today, we are actually chatting with someone named Nidhi. She's a poet, a self-taught musician, songwriter who's discovered a love for music through concert band in grade school. She's dedicated her life to music, working as an audio engineer, and she's always creating. In 2022, she actually formed a band, Stones on Neptune, to produce music inspired by her writing. Their latest release is Sunscar, dropped on June 24th of 2024, and is available on all the streaming platforms. So again, she's actually one of the quarter-finalists from Verse to Voice. We're actually going to wait for her to join us. Hopefully she'll join us in a second or two. But while we're waiting for her to join, I want to explain a little bit how this works. Again, learn all about it by going to versetovoice.com. The event's happening 16th, 17th, and 18th in August, but it's actually happening right now in the sense that if you go on Verse to Voice's Instagram, you have a chance to look at all the different quarterfinalists and take a listen to all of them. You're going to hear such a cool mix of vibes and music. Take a look at all of them, and if there's something you like, go under the post and write comments. And what's actually been really fun to see is the competitors that are part of this. They're actually writing on each other's bios and pages and showing love. So it's actually quite interesting to watch. So let's say hi to her.
Hello.
Hi, how are you?
Oh my gosh. I'm good. How are you?
That was you gave me a tour of your car there.
Yeah. This is the aesthetic we're working with today. Obviously in a parking lot right now, but yeah, it was holding still perfectly up until this moment.
Well, this is real life, and I had to give full disclosure to everyone. I'm gonna pull the curtain back. I had a chat earlier because I didn't want to mispronounce your name. And did I mispronounce your name? Let's do it together. Well, in front of everyone. I don't mind.
It's Nidhi.
Nidhi.
Exactly, Nidhi. Yeah, there you go.
But
I,
everyone that watched, I promise you, I private messaged her prior.
you
She
tried.
gave me the
Yeah.
audio message, and I practiced, and then I came on camera and I wrecked it. And she's still smiling.
No, I appreciate it so much. Some people will just shoot me back like a Nikki and won't even bat an eye. So I appreciate.
No, to me, I'm very respectful of names. I don't like when people have a beautiful name and then they short form their name. We need to learn the person's true name?
I agree. Thank you so much for
So
that. Yeah.
I appreciate your time. You're a busy person and everything, but the first question I have to start off by asking you is, What was your first reaction when you heard the news that you made the quarterfinalists for Burst to Boys?
I was watching Mill's interview, and it was very much I had the same feeling as well. I had no idea my audition reel was gonna get posted, and I'm like, there's so much more I would have done. Not to say I didn't put the same amount of effort and love, but I was on an away show, and I just brought my guitar with me. I was out in Montreal for work, so I'm like, okay, I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do my best with the time that I have, and I'm gonna do it. And then it was posted, and I'm like, oh. But I was really excited, to be honest. I was a friend who's actually watching right now. Hello, was suggested for me to submit and for us to submit our song into it. So when I discovered that I was passed through the quarterfinals, I was really excited, and I see so much talent that's around. So it's really humbling and exciting to be in that same pool, if that makes sense.
And you touched on it in your answer, and I kind of was talking about it before you joined. It's so interesting for me on the outside looking in, seeing, I say this with quotations, the competitors, you guys are all just sending love to each other. Like I'm
Yeah.
seeing each of you writing comments under each other's bio profile pages. Essentially you guys are competing against each other, but this is the most unique, exciting competition that I have witnessed where you guys are promoting each other right now.
One of my friends is in this competition as well, Shell, and her and I were talking earlier about this today, and we are talking about how I was at a songwriters panel a few years ago, and one of the panelists, his name is Andre, he was talking about how collaborating, how allyship with other artists are your biggest asset. Like this is your community. And also too is I think that every artist shares the same juxtaposition where we want to be seen, but we're so terrified of being seen too, because art is so vulnerable, it's so raw, it's so subjective. And I think that we all kind of share that yikes factor when we put ourselves out there, and hoping it all gets received well. So I think that I we're kind of seeing this space transform a little bit, especially with all of us being smaller artists or small creators, quote unquote, just to kind of say, you know what, we're all unique in our own way, and there is enough ears and enough eyes for all of us. So we don't have to be competitors. We can meet each other, collaborate with each other, nurture each other, and uplift each other. And no matter what the outcome is, I think that we're just all excited to be part of this. And I personally feel pretty inspired by that.
And as we're chatting, many people are coming in, and this is very informal. If you have any comments or questions, please put them in the chat, and if we have a moment, I'll ask it. But what motivated you to be a part of Burst to Voice?
Impulsivity, I have no idea. I just what motivated me was just it was a total leap of faith to get out there, because that's been the biggest thing for me that I have sparred with over the last couple of years, is putting myself out there and not keeping myself in this tiny container where it was like I was saying before, you want to be seen but you're afraid to be seen because it's so vulnerable, and you're making yourself vulnerable to judgment, I suppose. But what motivated me was just to, if I really want to take this journey seriously, I have to do the uncomfortable thing. And the growth is only outside of that circle of comfort. So it was a total leap of faith. And it was pretty serendipitous. And even the way we released our most recent song, within a month that it was written, we released it on Spotify and had a music video ready. So yeah, don't mind my bandmate back there loading up.
No, this is real life, and this is exactly the life of a musician. So
Yeah,
as you're doing an interview, you have your bandmates getting ready for this is real
yeah,
life.
yeah,
So this is exactly what I'm enjoying about these interviews is that, people are getting behind the scenes of what a musician is going through,
yeah, exactly.
But
You
I
feel
do hope they chirp you
the
a little bit that you're doing an interview while they're doing some work right now.
probably. I mean, he just did all the the heavy lifting and loading up the car and stuff like that. So he's also in another band as well called Live Animals. So he just did a rehearsal and I was going to his next shift, which is with us. So
Okay. Daniel writes, nothing more important than allyship as songwriters. You rock, all the best. So you're getting a love again from one of your competitors.
thank
Um,
you so much.
did you have any, you come across very confident. Did you have any fears or any hesitations about entering this?
Oh yeah, I mean, again, it's that wearing your art on your sleeve and putting it out there, and also like having it judged because everyone has their different tastes. But this song especially, it's it's not uh, it's a very feminist song. You don't know how it's going to be received. There's a very specific group of people that's going to appreciate this, and even talking about anything that's happening within the political sphere is going to elicit some sorts of different types of reaction. And I'm not exactly sure what this competition is looking for in terms of content, in terms of music, and if if the message is going to be received and digestible. But like I was going to release this song as a solo project. And then when I was talking to my bandmates about it, I said, I don't want to pigeonhole you into being this feminist band. And then they're like, but we are a feminist band. This is stuff we want to write about, these real world things. Not to say heartbreak and grief and emotional situations aren't real world stuff. I've written stuff about that too, but there's something about this that really puts a fire in my belly that they also really care about. So I really felt that allyship from them and that support at my back, that we're gonna do this together. And if we're going to do this together and make this kind of music, we're gonna give it 100%. And again, I don't know what Verse to Voice is looking for in terms of content, but that was my biggest fear, is how this song is gonna be received. But we love this song. Yeah.
You kind of answered my next question, but I'll still ask it anyways. I, I mean, talk to me about the song you submitted. Like maybe if you want to expand, share insight behind the song, specific song that you submitted.
Okay, so oh boy, where do I begin? So um when I wrote this song, I had some specific thoughts on my mind, and we released a song on the 24th of June, and that was the 2-year anniversary of the overturning of Roe v. Wade. And for those that don't know, when I said anniversary, did balloons just like pop?
I saw that. I saw that. I just to make sure that I didn't hit that by accident, but you did. So, take two on that.
Yeah. But for anyone that doesn't know what Roe v. Wade is, it's a bill that protects reproductive rights of women, and that was overturned 2 years ago in the United States. So every state was allowed to make their own rules and exceptions around abortion, and women who need health care and reproductive health care, they've been suffering since it's been catastrophic. And the thing is that with the feminine experience is, we experience different types of adversity in different countries. And for me as a South Asian woman, I grew up to be, quiet, submissive, do as you're told, and to kind of buy into those roles. And arranged marriages are still a thing in India, and to each their own. But the problem is that women are, I don't know what censorship is like on this, so I want to kind of walk around that. But women are punished through burnings and dowry burnings. So if a family isn't paid enough to marry their daughter, they it's and it happens one woman every 2 hours in India, and that's a catastrophic amount of women to be unalived over business deals. That is a marriage. And there's gender apartheid in the Middle East, there's gender apartheid in parts of Africa, and it's just like it's everywhere. So this song didn't really dance around the subject, but it was pretty direct, and it's basically a song that who most people who aren't really used to this subject are kind of introduced these situations that are happening now in real world, and it does make them uncomfortable. And it's like, you know, we won't really quite dance around the subject. We're going to be pretty direct about it. So I don't know if that explains it so well, but that's what Sunscar is about. And Sunscar is the phonetic spelling of Sunskar, which is a Hindu term for values, good values, do good. And it's just kind of that juxtaposition. So that's why it's named that.
I appreciate that you giving us that answer for that. What inspired you to become a singer-songwriter initially? What do you feel like there was a bit of a moment, even like something happened, or and that gave you that goosebump moment, or was it a more of a transition, or over time?
It was something that it was always a desire. Um ever since I could remember, since I was a little girl. But the transition to really go for it and pursue it was a few years ago. I think this is probably the most relatable answer, that I got out of a long-term relationship, and what I felt like I was in a absolute for about 5 years. When I woke up, I'm like, I'm gonna do what I want. so that was a switch. But the desire to be a songwriter, the desire to be a musician, the desire to be on a stage, sing and write music and write songs, it's always been there. It just kind of woke back up a few years ago.
Wow. This is always my fun question that I like to ask, and I'm not sure if you've seen any of the other. You did mention you watched one of the other interviews at the very least. What is the song you really like that might surprise others? Because I've been really getting some fun answers with this question. Is there a song like that maybe would surprise even your bandmates that they don't know about right now? Family, friends, potential fans that are watching this live. Is there an interesting song that people would just be shocked by that you listen
That I
to?
listen to, I I don't know, because I listen to everything, but I think that maybe a song that might surprise them could be a song by Chris Stapleton, Tennessee Whiskey. It is very bluesy, country is where I write very grungy stuff. I grew up with like R&B and, you know, dance hall and stuff like that, but I will jam to country and bluegrass and, and blues in my car. So that's one of my favorites. Yeah.
What would you say to someone who has never heard your music before? Like hasn't heard it at all, or they just happen to come across this Instagram live right now and they know nothing about you right now. What would you say to that potential new fan?
Um, have a very open heart when you listen, and I hope you feel heard when you do.
Wow, you were ready for that. I feel like that's your elevator speech. You were ready for that one. Like, wow. Wow, that was beautiful.
Thank you.
Again, and for those that are just joining us, people are coming in as we speak right now. We are talking to one of the quarter-finalists right now, Nidhi.
Nidhi.
Nidhi, Nidhi, and she's one of the quarter-finalists. You can learn all about this by going to bursttovoice.com. More importantly, you can go to the Instagram account for Burst to Voice, where you'll see all the quarter-finalists lined up. And what's again interesting, I know I'm repeating myself when I say this, it's so cool seeing all the quarter-finalists right underneath each other's profiles right now, giving each other love about it. But again, learn all about this by going to Burst to Voice Instagram account. What do you hope to achieve with being a part of Burst to Voice?
I definitely don't have visions of a specific objective to win. I just want the song to get heard. I want to meet new artists. I want to expand my community. I want to create more reach and just get Sunscar more out there, because so far the response has been amazing organically, and I just really that's that to me is a very special song, and that's my objective. I just want it to get heard. So, and I'm excited to have it. I'm grateful.
And what's again, what I'm hearing too is, I mean, you've met 20 plus new friends in the
Yeah.
past couple days. So that's really awesome. Um, Share with us, I guess, yeah, as we wrap up here, share us with ways to connect with you and to hear your music. We've touched on
Yeah.
you really want everyone to hear your music. Well, all right, well here it is. You're talking to the internet right now live. How can they hear your music? How can we connect with you? How can we learn everything about you?
Okay, so our Instagram is Stones on Neptune with dots in between, so stones dot on dot Neptune. We're also on YouTube and we're on Spotify as well, or any streaming service really. You'll find us at Stones on Neptune. And my creator account with my poetry and where I also boost a lot of our band stuff is Nidhi.write with two eyes. So that's where you'll find me. That's where you'll find all of us.
I thank you so much for doing this interview with me today.
Thank you.
You are awesome. I appreciate your time. Good luck in this competition. I keep saying competition so loosely because it doesn't feel like a competition at all.
Yeah.
But again, I appreciate your time and thank you to everyone watching, whether it be watching live or you watching the re-record later. Thank you, everyone.
Thank you so much. Have a great day. Bye.
Bye.